All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Exhausted Truth, where I'm your host, and I'm very exhausted from always having to tell the goddamn truth. But hey, someone's got to do it. All right, well, today we have a video of a woman pretending that she doesn't want to talk that ish on these men out here, but she clearly does. And not to mention, this wasn't even her situation. This was her friend's situation. You don't want to take my word for it. It's fine. Let's get into it.
That men ain't shit and that they're always talking to other girls, then buckle up, okay? Because we got a story time for you. So this happened last week.
Look at her already. She said, buckle up. I got a story for you. Bro, she couldn't wait to talk about this. And again, it's not even her situation. It's her friends. And you notice her friend's not even on the camera. She's face ain't even in this shit.
Whole weekend. And my roommate had been, I don't want to say talking, but she had been texting this man. Now, we come across this group of boys.
We'll call them
the Kai Paps. The Kai Pap smears. And somehow she just kind of started talking to one of them. He's basically one of them, right? I thought he was a little bit better, but she always had this like gut feeling that he was just like the rest of them. But I was like, oh, like I think he's a little bit more respectful. No, I was wrong again. But also I always never know what's right about men. So whatever. So either way, we pull up to this like bar crawl. We run into the Kai Paps. We say
it's probably the reason why she ain't got one, but I'll let her continue. It's fine.
Hello. It's like I'm too sober to be saying hello to these men. Whatever. We end up running into our friend. Let's call her Lexi. Now, Lexi also had made a comment like, "Oh, like some guy I matched with on Hinge is here." We thought nothing of it.
Also, there was a lot of people here. Like,
yeah, there was a lot of people.
What are the odds?
And also, we had known that this guy. We're gonna call this man Gibby. And we had.
I like how her friend is like putting in like has input, but she doesn't want to be on camera, right? You gotta love that shit. Like she's more than willing to feed the audio from outside of the view, but Lord forbid she actually puts her fucking face on the camera and takes some accountability. Now, as much as I was shitting on her homegirl, the one making the video, at least she puts her face out there.
Known that Gibby had Hinge, but like we weren't really saying too much about it because they were just texting. Like they went on some dates, but like wasn't that serious. Yeah. But let's say so then we're like leaving the bar. We're going to
these names. I know they're just spitballing names out there, but good God.
Another bar, and I'm talking to my roommate, and she shows me like a text from him, and he's literally like, "Oh, like saying that this bar that they ended up going because it was a bar crawl, the bar that they went to afterwards, like was beat, like they were going to another bar slash like he was kind of saying
the line was long,
like where are you going?" And then she said that, and I was like, "Oh, whatever." She starts walking forward with the other girls in the group, and then I stay back, and I'm kind of talking to Lexi, and Lexi like pulls up her phone. She goes, and she was kind of like talking to her other friend, and then she said to me, she's like, "Oh yeah, and this guy." Gibby just texted me saying that this bar is beat, like,
and the line was
really long, and like immediately, like my heart drops. I'm like
didn't I just hear
that? Didn't I just hear? I'm like, that's weird. And then like even before I could say anything, she's like, "Yeah, do you guys happen to know this guy Gibby? Like, I noticed that your roommate is like mutuals with him on Instagram." And I like literally look right at her, and at the same time, I'm both like, "Is his name Gibby Possum?" We say it at the exact same time, and she's like, "Oh my God, like have they been talking?" Like she's like, "I swear, like it's nothing, like he texts me like once every like couple months, like not a big deal, whatever. We matched on Hinge like months ago." And I'm like, "No, it's fine, like they just text whatever, they went on some dates." But I was like, she has literally like always had a gut feeling like that this man was like talking to multiple girls, or he was saying the same things that he was saying to her, to other girls. I mean, like this text message, you guys, was literally copy and paste. Like, and he said it probably within like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah. Like he sent it to both of them. And then she had said that he doesn't even hit her up that often. So like how, like he was just answering my roommate, and then it was like, "Oh, I'm going to go hit up Lexi now." Like why, like why would you do that? But
I mean, to be fair, I wasn't really giving him much. I always had the feeling. So Cammy was like, "You need to give him more," and I'm just like, no.
Yeah, no. She had always been like, "I don't trust him," whatever. But I honestly thought he was a little bit more respectable of a guy, but we were proven wrong. Yeah. So R.I.P. to him. Literally all men will always be talking
about
to
done with
multiple
this one.
girls.
Hold
So
on.
you should be doing the same because that's what they do to us. So yeah, just wanted to share that.
All right, I'm done with that. Listen, the point I wanted to get to in the video was where she was like, I've never given him my all. I've always kind of been distant and cold towards him a little bit because I've been guarded because I felt like he was doing X, Y, or Z. Now, my thing is, like, if you're guarded, right, and he never feels like he's getting anywhere with you, why the fuck wouldn't he be talking to other women? See, and that's the thing, though. It's like he's the villain for talking to other women. Meanwhile, she's the one that's being cold and standoffish. You know what I'm saying? And that's, fellas, you guys got to pay attention to this shit, man. If you're trying to, you know, get somewhere with the female and she's being cold, standoffish. Now, again, she might have her own reasons. I'm not saying she doesn't have her own reasons, and that's fine. She can have her own reasons. It doesn't change the fact that unless you're explaining that to someone, they don't know. They only know your actions. I was trying to look for a different word, but I don't need one. They only know your actions. So if you're cold and distant and he thinks, well, maybe it's not going anywhere, I'll still try and talk to her because I like her, but I'm going to start talking to some other females and see where that goes. I don't understand how this is something that ruffled feathers within there. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about here? And now here's the thing. And this is a female trait. So men don't do this, right? Men have been starting to do this, but I don't agree with it. And that's when women say, well, because you're doing this, I'm going to do it too. Listen, man, just because women do things does not mean you need to start doing things. Okay. We talk to other women because we have a calculated reason, right? You know, now again, some men just like playing the field. It is what it is. But other men are like, look, I'm not going to put all my eggs in this one basket. So I'm going to talk to a couple females, and then, you know, honestly, whichever one either you like the most or which one's giving you the most play, that might be the one you choose. And you shouldn't feel guilty for that. But on top of that, women aren't doing it because that's what they want to do. When they're not doing it because they're sick of being played, they're doing it because they like to be able to bullshit and have that man consistently trying to fucking, you know, tag along with them, right? Like consistently trying to, like, you know, stay in the circle and consistently trying to, you know what I'm saying, chase them. No matter how much they bullshit, keep chasing me, right? But when that man doesn't chase anymore and he's like, well, fuck it, if you're going to bullshit, I'm going to go over here. That fucks with the wiring of a lot of women, right? That fucking short circuits a lot of the fucking software and hardware in women's brains, man. I'm telling you. So don't feel guilty out, you know, man out there, don't feel guilty for doing this. You know why you're doing it, right? Because you know goddamn well these women are going to play games and you got to have multiple, right? You got to have multiple. I'm not saying if you're in a committed relationship, you should be doing this shit. No. But, I mean, it was very clear that they were just talking, right? They were just talking, and the other chick felt the need to bring it up, which is fine. That's her friend. Oh, I seen you guys are mutuals. Meanwhile, she says that the dude only talks to her every couple months, which means that's also not serious. So, as of right now, it seems like everyone's just having a good time, talking, seeing where things are going. For these females, obviously the one just admitted that she was playing games and not really being open to him. But she says it's because she felt like he was doing something on the back end. So if I'm being cold because I think you're up to something, why don't you just bring it up and say, hey, are you seeing other women? Now, men can lie, and they probably will lie. But you could have been up front. And again, if you feel like you can't believe him, then what are you doing dating him, right? And if you do believe him, well, good. Now you can be more open. You can let your guard down a little bit. And maybe this relationship can progress a little bit. But you're being cold. But on the back end, you're saying it's because he's talking to other women. But you have no idea if he's talking to other women because you're cold. Anyway, y'all, that's the game right now. That is the motherfucking game. And I know a lot of men just simply don't want to play it anymore. But I don't know, man. I can't tell you whether you should or should stay in it. I'm just telling you that it is what it is. And I hope y'all figure something out. Anyway, y'all, until next time, that is my time. And peace out.